So, hello everybody, and welcome to Calvino Noir. This is a little game I'm gonna be playing in between my main series on the channel, which currently is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so if you're interested in that, go check my channel for the full Let's Play series. But enough about that. Calvino Noir. So this is obviously a noir game. It is set in the 1930s, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in Europe. It might be England or Germany. I don't remember exactly. But this is a port from an iOS game. It's a point-and-click adventure game with heavy story elements and heavy stealth elements. So we're gonna have a lot of sneaking to be doing around. I did play a bit ahead just to see how the game feels. And let's dive into it, but just before we dive into it, a quick look at the options for whomever is interested in maybe playing this game himself. So nothing really serious here, just for rudimentary options. Full screen, anisotropic filtering, depth of field and VSync. But enough about that. Let's play.
Biblical rain pummels the city, but the stains remain. The world could empty its oceans onto these cobbled streets, and the streets would flush them right back. Nothing would change. There are those who eventually flee, and there are those who learn to exist here. They accept the unyielding filth within and without. They adapt. And like everything else here, these attempts are flawed. Something inside refuses to accept the stains and the filth. A thought, a question that refuses to surrender to the wreckage and ruin. It calls to us from what remains of our former selves, begging to be heard. What value lies in a survival born from the deadening of one's soul?
Alright, that was pretty grim, wasn't it? So anyway, we can walk and run here. By the way, there are two speeds, walking and running. I just happen to know the shortcuts because I played a bit ahead. But the game will teach us everything we have to know as we go. There are lots of points of interest, and we are going to react with them just so you get the full story of the game here.
Warning. Armed gangs active in this district. Observe curfews and do not approach.
This used to be a city. Now it's a sewer.
Alright, so we are supposed to speak to the bartender as our first task here, so let's do that. But not before we explore a bit.
There's a decade's worth of misery carved on these faces in here. And in this place, they'd be wiser to drink from the ashtrays.
Alright, so not a good city.
Ausländer!
Which means foreigner in German.
I told you not to call me that. Now, my room. Is it ready?
Ausländer is touchy today. Upper lip not so stiff.
So, my room?
Oh yes, it's ready. It's very ready, dirty, unheated hole.
That's good to know. Any messages?
Oh yes, someone called for you several times. She left no details.
She?
A young voice, strange accent. I guess you won't be lonely tonight. Or if you wish, I can arrange for you some company this evening.
Thanks for the offer, but from the looks of your clientele, I don't think I want you for a matchmaker.
Touchy and sarcastic. Fine. Here's your gin. Keep the bottle. Maybe it'll soften you up.
And now we get a small tutorial about running. We can click an icon, that's the gist of it, or we can press a key to run and toggle between running or not running and walking. Running makes more noise and the guards will detect you faster. Walk when you need to sneak past someone. Alright, good to know.
Royal Court scandal. Exclusive. Senior deputy accused of theft and bribery protests his innocence and claims the involvement of a scrambler.
By the way, we are a scrambler, so that might be us we're reading about. Alright, so the next objective is to answer our phone, obviously, so let's go do that. I could open the doors here along the way, but there's really nothing behind them for us. This is mostly a tutorial mission. Oh, wait a sec. This is our floor, right?
The room is already occupied by a colony of roaches, and a medicinal odor mixed with the stench of sweat and stale food.
Hello?
Are you the Englishman?
Who's asking?
Please drop the act. We are not auditioning for Hollywood.
Alright, so we get a choice here. Then this game does feature choices in dialogue. I do not know whether they are meaningful choices or just there for color, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. So our options here are: something tells me you didn't call to talk about movies. Or, of all the gin joints, in all the towns, in all the world, she walks into mine. Let's go with the sarcastic option here.
Something tells me you didn't call to talk about movies. Now it's your turn to drop the act. You know who I am, or you wouldn't be calling.
Your arrogance won't win you many friends, but I suspect you're long past caring about that. I have work for you. Tonight. Simple job and well paid.
My skills don't come cheap for new clients. I don't work for strangers. Well, let's try and get as much information out of her as we can. Maybe if we tell her this, she will introduce herself or just give us a hint about who she is.
I don't work for strangers.
But you do work for Moneyworld, and I'm willing to pay you for your services. No details over the phone. Meet me upstairs. You have 5 minutes.
Alright, so she's waiting for us upstairs. How convenient. Let's go and meet her then, shall we?
I'm surprised you came. Seems almost reckless on your part.
I don't have much left to lose these days.
You sound like a sorry excuse for a man.
It's what makes me such a good scrambler.
I hope you're right. We need a batch of files from the town hall, tonight. A collaborator on the inside will help you locate them. He's waiting in the accounts office. An employee at the hall who calls himself the Mole.
How fitting.
I'm guessing these are some very special papers.
They relate to the work of a corrupt federal minister, Ignace Real. You probably know him. He may once have been an honest man, but those days are long gone. Tonight we can obtain the evidence to finally do something about it.
Sounds like you want me to piss off some pretty powerful people. That's going to cost you 150 marks, half now, half later.
Alright, so the fact that we are Auslander, a foreigner, and that we are getting paid in marks makes this definitely a German country. Or Germany. Alright, let's move on.
You're every bit as mercenary as I was told. Fine, 150 it is. Now get to work.
Alright, so we need to access the basement, it seems. And that is the way to the library. We're gonna try and go underground. And until we reach that, the game is gonna teach us about stealth and sneaking and stuff. Oh, and of course, torch. Click the torch icon to toggle it on and off. With the torch on, it's easier to see your environment, and you can detect items hidden in the dark. Guards can also see torchlight, so use it sparingly while sneaking. Alright, so you see more, but they also see you. That's the gist of it. That is the torch, by the way. We can toggle it on and off with W. Alright, so now that we've picked up the key, where are we gonna use it? Ah, right away. Sneaking. Click the hide icon that appears below hiding places near you to take cover. These places are ideal for ducking out of vision of a passing guard, but be careful, it doesn't make you invisible. Alright, so this is the symbol it says, and we can click it. I'll get out of cover and just continue on our way here. Oh, there comes the guard though, so let's hide. And as soon as he passes, we can punch him. Well, that's how you deal with guards. It's not as easy as it seems though, because the game, well, it can be buggy sometimes, and yeah, combine that with the fact that you cannot save the game and there are only checkpoints, and you get what I mean. So let's see if we can hide, or just open the door. Oh no, but we have to go upstairs though, so alright, let's wait for the guard to make his round, and then we'll either knock him dead or go past him. We'll see. Alright, let's see what he does. Oh, he comes to us. Alright, so if it's a short distance, we can run towards him. And he will not be able to hear us coming. That's good to know. What is behind that door? Let's see. Oh, okay, we'll not be going that way. Oh, wait a sec, the mole is on this floor.
Come in, Englishman. I was expecting Draxler, but I guess his price was too high, so she settled for you. Wealth, I presume?
Let me guess, you're the mole? Or, Draxler hasn't been sober in 2 years. He's lacking in some necessary subtlety these days. Well, let's go with the ironic option here, why not?
Draxler hasn't been sober in 2 years. He's lacking in some necessary subtlety these days. His last job produced a month's worth of headlines and 6 body bags.
One always expects a little fallout from a high-profile scramble. Now listen carefully, Englishman. Ignaz's documents will be held in the planning library for only 1 hour before they are sent away to the mayor's treasury office. We must be quick. I'll lead us through the lower levels. My access level permits me to be there.
Hold on. Why are you helping Siska?
A common enemy is a powerful bond, Wild.
Ignaz?
Now's not really the time to go into it. Let's get moving. The planning library is locked at night. I'll need to pick up the keys from the lower reception. Meet me at the library entrance afterwards.
And we are getting introduced to the feature of switching characters. So we can cycle between them, and well, that's just about it. The mole, which we are now controlling, is invisible to the characters. Well, not invisible, but they do not react to him in any case. Because he actually works here. So, yeah, there's that. What we can do, though, is usually we have to complete an objective with both players, right? With both the mole and the Englishman. So, we can scout ahead and see what the best route is for the Englishman to take. So, that means probably the route that has the fewest guards. So, I've been here before. We can either unlock this door, but having the Englishman run through this area, it's gonna be very tough with 2 guards patrolling. So, there's an easier route right above us. So check this out. We can go through this door. And no guard in sight.
A layer of grime blurs the subject's features. The brass label reads, Lord Barr of Bavaria, First Minister to the Royal Court, 1764 to 1776.
Alright, I don't know how that helps us, but okay. Now we've unlocked this door. And see, there's our objective. We can straight beeline it. So let's now bring the Englishman. See? Easy peasy.
Okay, we have them. Let's go. We can take refuge in the clock tower and then escape through the sewers once the guards have left. Yes.
Let's switch to the mole first here, because he has an easier time moving around. And let's see what's up there in the clock tower waiting for us. Hopefully there are no guards, but let's see. At least in the staircase that seems to be the case. Alright, so it's clear sailing all the way up to the clock tower. It's good to know. And of course we need both players for this, so let's switch back. Alright, now let's just be a bit careful not to draw any unnecessary attention here. Alright, then I'm guessing we can run the rest of the way up.
So, I guess we wait here till the guards change shifts.
I think you know what happens now, Englishman. Give me the documents, and I won't feed you to the guards.
I had a feeling you might turn out to be a poor team player.
Enough of this. I hate that bastard Ignas more than you could ever know. What does it matter if I am the one who brings him down instead of Siska?
Well, it matters to my wallet. Siska was going to pay me. Are you? Or we can say, Ignas seems to have pissed everyone off. What's he done to you? Alright, so instead of money, let's go for the information here. Let's see what he has against Siska, and maybe we can use that later against him or in our favor in any case.
Ignace seems to have pissed everyone off. What's he done to you?
Nothing which can ever be undone, sadly. All I have left is the hope that he will live his remaining days in misery.
Alright, so it sounds like this Ignace guy took somebody from the mole. Sounds like you're not good at letting go of a grudge. All I have left is the hope that I'll get paid for participating in this crap fest. Alright, so let's continue probing for information here. Let's go with this sentimental option number 1.
Sounds like you're not good at letting go of a grudge.
You mercenary fool.
Wilt hears a loud crack when the brass knuckles strike his left temple. The lights shimmer and the floor sways.
Alright, so I guess the mole knocked us out and left us here. So let's see what situation we're left with. First, there's a key.
That weasel can throw a solid right hook. Rousted my hangover, too.
The files are gone, but for a few stray sheets scattered behind. Wilt stoops to inspect one of them, though the slightest movement sends his skull throbbing.
Hold on. I recognize this place. It's an architectural plan of the old distillery near the freight dock.
So I'm guessing we'll have to make our way towards there. In any case, access the sewer is our next objective here. Can we go outside? No, we cannot. Could we use the elevators to run through a guard? Alright, so I guess we'll have to hide a bit till these guys make their rounds. Let's get a bit further ahead though, because I don't know if his flashlight will be able to illuminate us. Alright, so we have to go to the sewers. Oh. Let's go by the elevator, why not? We cannot go any further? Interesting. So we have to use this shaft here, huh? Oh man, he's gonna see us, isn't he? Ah. Okay. Dodge that bullet. Alright, now he's gone upstairs. Let's wait for somebody to move past us and then we'll make our move and get downstairs. So what are you gonna do? You're just standing there, are you? It's not helping us much. How about you? Oh, you're going upstairs. Alright, so we are going. Oh, go down, please. Oh, barely missed the guard. Okay. Now we're downstairs. Oh, we didn't have to do that? Oh man, we could have gone this way. I thought we had to be in this place exactly. Still, we could have used this way. Ah well, doesn't matter. Alright, so now we're supposed to call for help, huh? Oh, wait a sec, what's this?
Dull echoes, dripping water and distant thundering from the streets above. Scrapyard shanties of rotting wood and rusted sheet metal have been fashioned amongst the pipework. Home sweet home.
Wow, the Englishman is particularly fond of this place, isn't he? I guess we better get upstairs. I have to say the atmosphere is lovely though. I'll give the game that.
Oh no, I'm in a tight spot.
My dear Will, why else would you call? I've never known you when you didn't need some form of aid.
I need to visit the old distillery near the docks. I could use someone who knows a thing or two about how that stuff works.
You want to learn about distillation?
Oh no, I couldn't tell you more even if I wanted to.
I wasn't asking.
And I may have taken 75 marks to be the fall guy for a federal documents job. Except I don't even know what I stole. The files were taken from me before I could have a proper look.
Easy come, easy go.
The only one I have left looks like a plan for the old distillery.
And now you need to find out what makes such a plan so important that people would rather fight over it in the middle of the night than be at home sleeping. Yes.
That about sums it up. Can we meet at the docks at dusk?
Wilt, explain to me again why I didn't shoot you when I first laid eyes on you back in Passau.
Because you'd had enough, Arno, and we both knew it.
See you tonight, my friend.
Alright then. So this is chapter 2 of Act 1, and we have a body here.
A winch pulley has been used to unload some cargo from a freight barge.
I wonder, can we switch with him? Arno can operate machinery. Interesting.
Chimneys discharge noxious smoke into the indifferent sky overhead. Armed watchmen patrol the grounds, huge silhouettes marked by flickers of steel, adding their own frozen breath to the night mists.
Barbed wire and guard dogs. Must be some special schnapps they are brewing here.
Those armed guards. Think they'll invite us in?
So they're loading these barrels from the dock into the distillery. Now I'm curious what's inside.
Alright, so can we get closer without getting spotted?
The shipment consists of barrels so weathered and worn their contents leak across the cargo bay and into the drains.
Very graphical. Investigate with the Englishman a bit ahead, and maybe if we come across any machinery, then then Arno might come into play.
The lettering on the drums, barely legible from the corrosion, reads, "Property of Randane Corp."
I guess we better let him make his rounds. Let's see, yeah, he comes back, so we might get a chance to smack him in the head. Alright, so now we have to bring the other guy, but we could make this easier for ourselves if we just kill the guard here. So maybe let's do that. Well, he's behaving peculiarly. The last time he did come until here. I don't know what's that about. Alright, we got him. Cool, so now let's hide here. And let's bring Arno along.
It looks like the barrels are being emptied into these large tanks and pumped upstairs. Let's follow the pipeline.
Alright then. Following the pipeline. Let's take it slow though. You never know what's behind. Oh, wait a sec. We get an investigate icon that's right above us. Alright then, how do we get there though? We could go through this door, I guess. Did I see a flashlight here? I think I saw a flashlight. Or am I crazy? Yeah, there's somebody behind that door. So it doesn't look like we're getting in that way. Let's head back. Let's try going forward instead. See where that gets us. Alright, let's take it slow though. Alright, that looks more promising. So, how about we go upstairs now? Looks clear. No, don't close it, please. Let's go up. Alright, how about here? Looks clear as well. Alright. Okay, can we at least hide here somewhere? Yes, there are hiding places. Alright, cool. So let's hide here for a bit. Let's see what this guy does. Or we could bring him. He can run. It's free. It's clear, the coast. Alright then, let's investigate.
Arno examines 2 coulometric titrators and a double flask condenser. It all looks custom built.
Wait, I need to see their equipment up close. Can you distract them?
Oh, okay, that means discard, probably. Sure, no problem. Why do I have to do the dangerous job? Can't you think of a better plan? Let's just for the fun of it go with option number 3. Let's see whether there are multiple ways of completing a mission.
Can't you think of a better plan?
Like what?
Why don't we set off the fire alarm so they vacate the lab? Never mind, let's just do your stupid idea. I kinda wanna see the fire alarm.
Why don't we set off the fire alarm so they vacate the lab?
Sounds almost not stupid. Let's do it.
Alright, so, how can I do that though? There's a guy behind here. Oh, there's a fire alarm. Alright, so let's hide Arno here just in case. Let's have him hide behind this. Alright, cool. And now we can set off the alarm. Alright, that's one way of doing it. Now let's go investigate.
Are you enjoying the tour?
I think it's a large-scale contact process. Iron pyrite goes in the furnace over there. Then they take the sulfur dioxide fumes, precipitate, and oxidize them.
Alright, I will act like I know what he just said. I was just about to say that. Makes perfect sense. Say nothing further. No, I'm the first guy. I was just about to say that, ironically.
I was just about to say that.
I'm not quite sure what it means yet. Can you see the big pipe running up the left side wall? We need to follow it.
Alright, I do not actually see it, but I have a marker here, so I'm guessing we'll follow that instead. Alright, so let's see what's behind this door then. Looks clear. I don't know what glitch happened there, but we killed that dude. That's fine by me. And we are supposed to investigate over here, so let's see. Alright, cool. We can bring Arno, I guess, now. A bit faster though, Arno, if you'd like. Thank you. No. Not go just yet. Alright then.
Interesting. Two autoclaves leading to a glass-lined heat exchanger. This thing looks like a fine granulator hooked up to a dual-shift gearbox.
You don't say. So, we have to investigate further, it seems. Alright, for some reason I cannot move past here. The game has a bit of clunky controls. Oh, wait a sec though. Have to go down, not up. Keep forgetting. So let's go down then. Alright. This is locked, so I'm guessing we'll go that way. Alright, let's now bring Arno along.
Which part of that explains the small army guarding this place?
Over there. They are oxidizing and precipitating the sulfur dioxide fumes I mentioned earlier. That normally makes sulfur trioxide.
I'm familiar. That's the barman's special at my hotel.
That were true, you'd have more than a hangover today. This stuff is toxic in every form. They're taking it through the back wall via the central pipe. You want to find out where it leads?
Follow another pipe. How can I say no?
Alright then, follow another pipe. Got it. Let's switch characters here. Hello there. Okay, let's bring Arno along then.
Siska. What the?
Hello, Wilt. I'm glad to see you're alive and well after what Moritz pulled last night.
Moritz? You mean your Weasley little friend who cracked me in the skull and left me unconscious in the town hall? Or the little rat sucker punched me? What are you doing with that door? Well, I don't think it matters what we choose.
Moritz. You mean your Weasley little friend who cracked me in the skull and left me unconscious in the town hall?
Believe it or not, he wasn't supposed to stitch you up like that. He's disappeared with the files. Gone to pursue his personal vendetta against Ignace. Some family matter, I think. He did telephone me to tell me what was in the plans, at least. I guess he'd rather I was scrolling through distillery events than chasing him around.
Sounds perfectly unconvincing. What are you doing with that door?
Take another look at the plans from the hall. Notice anything odd?
Wait. Yes. Right here where we are standing. This part of the distillery. It's not in the plans.
Care to elaborate?
I'm fairly sure this secret extension is being used for something ugly by Ignat's corrupt associates in the Randane Union.
In the lower chamber, they are producing sulfur trioxide and feeding it into this upper hidden section. Any idea why?
No, but that's why I'm here. Help me find out?
Sure, why not? You still owe me for the last job, or, lucky for you, my datebook's empty this evening. Let's do it. Let's go with the sarcastic, as always.
Lucky for you, my datebook's empty this evening. Let's do it.
So what is this? Can unlock lockpick. Oh, so Arno comes in handy here. He can... what is this? This door doesn't have a keyhole. Oh, so I suppose this is how we'll look through a keyhole. Can somebody else actually look through a keyhole? No?
They'll never win.
Oh, Siska can pick locked doors. Alright. And she can also peek through locks. Nice. So let's lockpick.
What is it?
Alright, so now I have to investigate. How are we gonna get through this though? Let's take
We must not
Wilt. And maybe when he looks away, we can attack him. This is not an easy game, let me tell you. I just managed to kill both of them in the nick of time. Alright. Let's go investigate though. Oh, we have to lockpick this, I guess. Alright, let's bring in Siska here. And Arno can make his way upstairs while we're doing that.
Do you mind?
It appears they are boiling off the sulfur trioxide and then pressurizing it into some sort of brass canisters. I'd like to examine one of the canisters in my lab properly. Can we steal one?
They're too heavy, I can't lift them. We need to figure out a way to get one out of here.
This pipeline, Arno, any ideas?
I'm not yet sure exactly what's inside these canisters, but it is certainly not nice.
The kind of stuff that'll really ruin your day?
Try ruin your life.
Siska, what would Randane want with this? And what's in it for Ignaz?
I don't have many answers for you. Ignaz is not the only official they've corrupted, but he is the most high profile. He's gone into hiding since the theft of his plant. Rumor has it that Randane weren't so happy that he allowed their data to be compromised at the town hall. They may have fallen out.
I suggest we try to find him. I've heard he's holed up somewhere on the 12th district, near the hotel.
Okay, let's figure out a way to move some of these canisters and then get out of here.
Alright, so our objective though is to escape. Alright, so now we can escape, but before we leave, let's make sure we load the canisters to the boat. And I'm guessing this is the machine, which we will do just that. Right, so I'm guessing these are the canisters over here. Let's just stop this right there. Alright, just a simple mini game it seems here. And I'm guessing these go to the boat. Oh, that should do it. So now let's lower the boat and get out of here. And by lower the boat, I bet we have to press this thing here. Alright, so now we got a toxic barrel, which we will probably use against our enemies at some point in the story. First though, we gotta escape with it.
Toxic chemicals packed into strange cartridges. It seems Ignaz and his friends in Randane have a new project.
And here I pinned my hopes on a happy ending.
The engine kicks into gear, sending shudders through the stillness. Moments later, there's only the engine's guttural hum and the river lapping against the vessel's rusty bow.
What is this place?
National Science Academy. Before you go chasing Ignaz in the hotel, I want to check something in the patent office here. If those canisters were made in this country, this archive will tell us where.
I doubt we can walk in with our stolen canisters and ask to do a research project.
Okay, we go in quiet. Anna, what do we need?
30 minutes in the main archive room should be enough. I need to check the canister serial numbers against the National Factory database. It's on the top floor under the observatory. We can take the lift.
Alright then. So, taking the lift, huh? That sounds way too easy to be true. Is there also a door here? No, there isn't. So we have to kind of go with the left. Okay. Now we are all here. Ah, okay. I guess we have to just babysit everybody a bit. Oh, what was that?
Huh? What happened? Are we stuck?
I'm guessing by the sound that the sprocket motor has jammed. This thing won't be moving anytime soon.
Alright, anything's good for an alibi except an elevator. Wives, girlfriends barter the shore, but not an elevator. Arno, can you fix it? Well, okay, the irony is good, but let's go with a practical one.
Arno, can you fix it?
Maybe, but I need some tools. I think we'll also need to reset the power circuits.
Alright, so repairing the lift with Arno.
The tortured groan of grinding metal echoes up and down the lift shaft. It's unlikely to go unnoticed by the building's night watchman. Anna will need a few tools to fix this. He also said something about resetting the power circuits.
Alright, so lots of objectives here. First, we are stuck in this floor, so the only thing we can do is go to this door here. Alright, so I guess let's use Siska here. Let's scout ahead a bit. Seems clear. It's cool that we get to use Siska because she's the perfect first person to navigate a mission. What with her lockpicking ability and all. Alright, so let's check what's behind this door as well. Yeah, we could go, but let's wait for this guy to make his rounds. I'm guessing he'll come back. Indeed, so he spends a little time here and quickly goes back. We need to lockpick this door and get inside, that's for sure. So let's see what his movement pattern is like. And we'll have to definitely match it as close as we can. Oh, he stands there for a second? You know what? Let's bring in Wilt. Wilt could take care of this guy. Siska stand a bit back and Wilt take her place. Just to be certain, let's position Siska outside. Right now, as soon as he starts walking up the stairs, we should go for it. Good. That makes things easier. Now let's bring in Siska.
They'll never win.
And we can finally run a bit, since there is no guards to hear us. Alright, enough though. Now we have 2 doors to work with before we get to the ground floor. Alright, this seems unoccupied. Now let's see whether there's something useful here. Alright, so these could be tools for which Arno is the right person, of course. So let's bring him in.
Equipment is strewn across the front desk of the classroom. Arno rifles through the mess to claim a pair of pliers and a monkey wrench.
Alright, so I guess that means... does this mean he can repair the lift? Or at least do something about it? Let's quickly return to the lift and find out.
The tortured groan of grinding metal echoes up and down the lift shaft. It's unlikely to go unnoticed by the building's night watchman. Arno will need a few tools to fix this. He also said something about resetting the power circuits.
Alright, so maybe we have just the tools and we need to reset the circuits. Alright. Let's continue then. I'll take Seska once more. And let's now go check the first floor here. Oh, there's an intermediary floor? Interesting. Alright, so this is a lecture hall, huh? Some sort of university here. Okay. Let's see if there's anything in this. Oh, there's something there. Oh, there's money there. Wow, there's lots of stuff. Alright, let's see. Something shines here. Just money? Okay. For the sake of being thorough, let's unlock this door here. Might come in handy later. You never know. Oh, there's also something shining here. Interesting. Well, guessing lots of money. Now let's take a peek through here. Well, there's money everywhere, isn't there? So it pays out to have the torch out, at least when exploring. Alright, but now it's time for Will to take points. Let's observe how the guard moves here. So he stops there for a while. Alright, that is the spot we kill him. So let's get down, and the next time he exits, that's when Will do his dirty deed. I don't know if you noticed, but walking down the stairs made noise by itself, even though I went stealthily. So that's one thing to remember. Now, what is this? Alright, so I'm guessing Arno is once again called to take point here. Well, let's get some money here first.
The fuse cupboard is full of dusty junk. Arno caresses a few of the dials and switches until the one labeled lift motor lights up.
So hopefully that's everything we need for the switch.
Do you mind?
But just in case, let's see what's behind this door as well. Doesn't look like much, but still, let's explore. And we can lockpick this just to be on the safe side. Alright, I guess now let's go with Arno and see what he can do about repairing this elevator.
Arno is tinkering with the bolts and gears of the lift sprocket system. He seems genuinely contented.
That should do it. Let's go.
Alright, but where do we go now? Search the patent archive. This probably means we have to go on the last floor here. So let's bring everybody back. Is everybody following? No, I guess we'll have to take them one by one.
What is it?
Alright, once again, let's take point with Siska only. Oh, she cannot see? Interesting, she can only see through doors that are locked, or that have a lock, actually. So she's kind of useless against normal doors. But still, let's take point with her because, you know, one of those locked doors might come up. Like now. Alright, so let's bring everybody now.
Many of the dusty patent folios look like they've been here for millennia. To their excited owners, each sheet once represented a beautiful idea that would change the world.
Wow, what a pessimistic view, huh?
We're in the right place. I need time in the archives. Make sure no one disturbs me.
Alright, so what does this mean? Will we have some opposition here?
We must not quit.
The serial number corresponds to the Zwetel metalwork plant. Let me find the full profile.
Pretty smart. Where did you find this guy, Wilt?
Arno. The truth is that he found me first, right in his rifle crosshairs, a few miles outside of Passau back in 1917. Our friendship blossomed in the exact moment we should have been trying to kill each other.
A special moment in my life. But our stories must wait. I have the factory profile. It's a small enterprise established in 1914 during the war. 180 workers making metal casings, ball bearings, and munitions cartridges.
You think this canister could be some sort of weapon?
Possibly, although it doesn't look like anything I saw during the war.
So, do we go to Svetl?
I think you should find Ignaz. The hotel is only across the square, and he knows more than we can learn from Svetl. It's not really a job I'm best suited for. You know where to find me if you need more help later.
Alright, so,
They'll never win.
we do not get to use Arno anymore. As you can see,
We
we can
must not
only
quit.
switch between Siska and Wilt. So let's take those two and try and enter the hotel. Before we do that though, let's quickly check upstairs. What's here?
The old Hessling telescope dominates the observatory. It brings back old memories of my time here as a young chemistry student at the University of Vienna. Those days now feel more distant than the galaxies we gazed at all those years ago.
Alright, we don't get much, but we do get a reminisce by Arno. Wait a sec, I saw something glowing here. Oh, so you only see things, you only can pick up things when you are going slowly, not when you're running. What sort of makes sense, but okay. And where is Siska, by the way? Oh, see, opening the doors did come in handy. Not by much, but still.
Stern lettering hangs above the grand entrance. Corroded by hundreds of years' worth of pigeon droppings are the words Scientia Doctrina Robus.
We are both here.
Do you mind?
Okay.
The hotel is just up ahead. This won't be easy. Ignaz is on the run and probably has some hired muscle backing him up.
And I doubt he'll be eager to share his secrets with us.
He may have no choice. If Rendane have cut him loose after his loss of the distillery plans, he'll be scared and short of friends.
Alright, let's go then. As a little side note to the developers here, if anybody is watching that is, the voiceover for Siska stands out in a bad way because you can tell she was in an untreated room with lots of echo when she was doing her recording, so I don't know, maybe a point for future games.
Try to get your hands on the guest book. I'll deal with the clerk.
You think Ignaz is stupid enough to use his real name for a room booking?
You think I'm stupid enough to think that? The book will just tell us which rooms are occupied. It'll save time.
Alright, so they are both geniuses. Lots of hiding places here.
What is it? They'll never win.
Let's just hide them just to be on the safe side here. Now we have them. Oh man.
What is it?
It's not really easy controlling them. I'm sorry.
Only rooms 2, 4, and 9 are occupied.
It looks like they're all in the left wing of the building. Let's get moving.
Alright then, so let's take point with Wild here. Oh, and there is a something we can go to the sewer here. Interesting. That might be something for later though. Right now we have to search rooms 2, 4 and 9. Alright, so we obviously need Siska for this. What is that? I don't know if she's interactable, but let's try. She looks like she's either giving birth or doing push-ups. I don't know what's... Oh, we can get outside. Interesting. Although this doesn't help at all. Alright, I guess let's keep going with Wild here. Let's first observe his pattern of movement. Now we can kill him right there. Interesting. He also stops for a while upstairs. Also a good spot, but let's go for the first opening we get here. Alright, time to bring in Siska. Let's explore just a bit with the flashlight, see if we find anything. You never know. Alright, just a hiding spot just in case. Nothing really interesting. Alright, once more a job for Siska. I know this probably isn't the right side of the building to find the objectives. But still, you never know what you might find, so it's worth exploring. Oh, so for example, there's some tidbit of information there. Probably.
Half-eaten room service meals fester on every counter and table. Whoever stayed here didn't like to go outside much. A mess of papers is strewn across the bed, stamped with the unmistakable seal of the federal ministry.
Alright, this can lead to something.
Our friend Ignaz was here, but it looks like he left in a hurry.
He can't have gotten far. Let's search the area.
Alright then, so we get to search for Ignaz, but we have to do this in a completely different part of the hotel. So, let's see, maybe this guard is easy to take down. Let's observe his movement pattern here. Doesn't look like it, but we could go over there if we have enough time and wait for him to come back. Yeah, let's try that. Alright, so now that he's dealt with. Good. So now we have to go downstairs. Let's see what he does. He doesn't go any further than this. That's good. Now where will we get the chance to knock him out? Although that's not mandatory, you know, we can just avoid him. He stops there for a while. Oh, okay. That might be our opening. That was quite a while. And maybe we can hide behind this door as well and take him out. Let's see, if we can hide, I'll take it. Alright, we'll do it this way. Well, the guard doesn't react much to finding his dead body here, but that's okay with me. Does he come investigating further? Let's bring in Siska while we wait. Alright, so it seems the guard has left. Search for Ignaz. Is that Ignaz? Could it be? Looks like a guy just standing there. Just to be on the safe side, I think we should take this guy out as well. And probably do it the same way we did the other one. So let's wait behind this door here. Alright, he stops there, that's good. Now this guard could be a nuisance though. Let's wait for him as well. I wanna see what he does. He could see us. Yeah, I don't like that. Alright, maybe we can hide behind some of the columns here. Cool, that looks like the best spot. Let's go meet this Ignaz fella then. Whoops, wrong floor.
Hey, kid.
You are not a guest here. Security are looking all over for you. I should call them right now.
Or you could earn a few easy shillings. Tell us what you know about the guest in room 9.
20 shillings, or I'm calling security.
Actually, we do not have those, but let's see. You're overplaying your hand, kid. 5 marks for telling us what you know. Take it or leave it. Yeah, let's go with that.
5 marks for telling us what you know. Take it or leave it. If you feed us rubbish, we'll come and find you. Before you start weighing it up, a few marks isn't worth getting broken bones for.
Huh. Fine. Herr Stritzweiss has been here a couple of days. He took a family room. Seemed to have a few bodyguards with him.
Where are they now?
They took a call through the switchboard this morning and left just after. They went through the back courtyard, towards the cemetery.
Here's your money, kid. If it turns out you spun as a fairy tale, we'll be sure to meet again for the tragic ending.
Alright then, on to the cemetery. Okay, so maybe we can avoid this guard and go this way. I don't remember. It's the roof, so there might be a ladder. Could go this way, although this guy is a nuisance. Or we could hide with Wilt someplace and take him out. Maybe here. Yeah, let's not risk it. We can take him out. Oh, he does though make some long rounds. So we could be well gone by then. Alright, let's not waste any more time than we need. We'll just wait for him to make one more time his rounds, and then we'll be gone.
We must not quit.
Alright then. So I guess onto the cemetery.
Not many places a fugitive can hide around here.
You think those grunting lumps are his bodyguards?
Mourners don't normally bring weapons to the cemetery. Ignace can't be far away.
Alright, now the other guy will probably come investigate, so let's hide. Good. That takes care of 2 guards at once. And you know what? Before meeting Ignaz, actually, which probably will not go down without a fight, let's just take care of all the guards. Just to be safe. It doesn't seem to be that easy, though. Could hide here and follow him. Let's observe his movement pattern. He doesn't stop there for long at all, so that's not a good spot to kill him. I think he stops over here, so maybe we could just catch up to him and beat him on his way back. Cool. Let's see if there's anybody else in the area before we proceed. There's a guard here, but I think he's too far to be a threat. Right, so maybe it's time to confront this Ignaz guy.
The faint echo of footsteps bounces around the arches and alcoves. With it comes the palpable dread of Ignaz's frantic breath as he runs out of places to hide.
Who are you? Guards! Guards!
Alright, see, that's good. If we had not taken down the bodyguards, we would have many guards to work with. Now we only have one. Alright, so let's see what he does. He'll probably come up to Ignaz, and as he passes by, we can safely take him down, I guess. Oh, he goes back down? That's curious. Let's observe before we do anything rash. Alright, what does his patrol look like? We can hide here. Oh, let's not overplay our hand. Let's wait for him. No, not here. Alright, I guess this spot will do as well. Does he stop for a while? Let's see. Yeah, he does stop for a while. Yeah, that is our opening. If only Arno would hide better, man. Does a bad job at this. Alright, so now we can safely confront Ignaz, I guess. So let's just head back in there.
Guards, guards!
You can shout, Ignaz, but nobody's coming.
You are mistaken. I'm Herr Stritzweiss. Who's Ignaz?
Ignaz is this scared little man standing in front of us, realizing that he is all alone now that Randain have no use for him anymore.
You're the ones who stole the plans. Who are you?
They've lost interest in you now that your cover is blown and you can't do them little favors anymore.
Please. Please, you have to help me. I need to leave Vienna. My daughter too. Eva. It's not safe for us here anymore. This morning they phoned me to say they'll kill us both if I didn't tell them who has the plans. They think I sold them.
Well then, Ignaz, it seems we need each other. So enlighten us. Why are you helping Randain? How much did they pay you?
Pay me? You think I did this for the money? I'm a federal minister, you fool. Randain has been blackmailing me for over a year. Look at these photos.
Ignaz produces a clump of tattered monochrome photographs and hands them to Siska.
So we can examine the photographs or ignore the photographs. No, I'm always for examining as much information as I can get my hands on, so let's do that.
Examine the photographs.
Who's the other man in the pictures? You two...
What does it look like to you? Are you shocked?
Did you know you were being photographed?
Of course not. We were always careful to go into the countryside, where nobody could see us. Walks, picnics, normal stuff. But we were followed for months.
Then, when they had enough material, they started asking you for favors. How am I doing?
They started sending me the pictures. I got scared. When Rudi found out, it was the end anyway. But the photos kept coming, only now they had instructions on them. Small stuff at first. A word in a judge's ear prior to a trial, firing some city guards who had crossed them. But then it got bigger. Monopoly contracts for the city copper mine. Exclusive access to the reservoir. They never told me what would happen if I refused to do it. But I knew the photos would go public. My wife would see them, my daughter. Not that it matters so much now. Nina left me a month ago anyway. Every few months I'd also get a beating from some thug scrambler working for them called Zappelli.
Yeah, Zappelli isn't the subtlest scrambler around, but I guess that's why they hired him.
You're sympathizing with this parasite, Wilt? That's a nice little sob story for someone who got caught selling out his city.
You want to see my body? Here.
Ignaz unbuttons his shirt to reveal a mottled mess of bruised flesh and tender purple tissue where his ribs should be.
Zappelli never said a word to me, but I got the message. They could get me whenever they wanted. Now I have the bodyguards, but it won't make a difference if even you two can get past them.
What are they doing at the distillery?
I don't know. They had me switch the plans in the planning office so they could hide a section of the distillery from the council. But I never asked questions. The less I knew, the safer I was. Please, please help me and my daughter leave Vienna. If you do this, I'll tell you where they are based. They have a factory out of town where they build things. I don't know what. They took me there once, but I won't tell you till I'm sure they can't get to me.
We could help put him on a train.
I'm not sure I trust him yet, Wilt.
We'll need new papers. They've put word out to have me apprehended.
I'm not the only official they've corrupted. No border guard will ever let me pass with my real ID.
Okay, we'll need a few hours to prepare. If we hurry, we can get you on the midnight sleeper to Trieste.
Thank you. I will send for Eva.
Alright then, so I guess we only control Wilt now and nobody else. Interesting. So, what am I supposed to do though here? I'll keep moving forward just to see what happens.
The chiseled granite beneath their feet is slippery from the incessant rain. All these stone-carved temples and statues designed to preserve the status of the wealthy, even in death.
The echo of nothingness is suffocating here. I need to leave.
Alright, but we have to speak to Siska one last time before she leaves.
If he's telling the truth and we get caught, they'll do to us whatever they do to him.
What they'd do to him wouldn't be fun. Sure you still want to play the vigilante?
You think I'm scared, Wilt? I was born in Kalush on the Eastern Front in 1915, when you and Arno were playing games in Passau. When I was only a few months old, both my parents were killed in a Zeppelin raid, which destroyed most of our village. As a child, I learned to walk in corpse-strewn streets while howitzer shells whistled overhead. There's little in Vienna right now that would shock or scare me.
You're pretty intense for a teenager.
I'm 20 years old. Not that it matters.
Alright then.
The city's central districts are adorned with the centuries-old regalia of power. Siska's eye traces the festooned and crested townhouse facades worn with time. She regards the Imperial Embassy's crumbling cornices and ledges like a palm reader divining the city's future from its cracks and fissures.
What's your name, little girl?
Daddy said we are going on holiday to the beach.
Not exactly answering the question, but...
Her name is Eva.
Ava, will you stay close to me? I'm going to help you and your daddy go on holiday, but you have to promise to be good. Is that okay?
I think I lost my toy.
Wilt, I'll keep an eye on her. The overnight sleeper to Trieste leaves in 2 hours. Let's get going.
What about the identity papers? They'll check us on the train before we cross the border.
We'll get some papers from Gerentz. He runs a small printing press in the shopping arcade, but his main work is doctoring checks and ID cards.
Can we trust him?
As much as you'd trust a hungry vulture, but we don't have much choice.
Alright then, first objective, meet Gerentz. Let's see who we have to play with.
Help us, please.
Oh, we can also select Ignaz. I wonder what his talent is.
We must not quit!
Alright, so he probably can move safely in some areas but not in others. Let's take point with Siska as always, and if we come to resistance, then we'll see about it. Interesting, so we can go underground here. Oh, and Siska has the small girl with her, the little girl. Interesting. Alright, so there's guards there. Let's not overstep our welcome. Wilt will probably do for this next section. Let's observe first. How does he move? So he goes the other way. hide here. Maybe even closer to him. Interesting. Alright, but that's not what we want to do right now. Let's go up.
Once a playground for the Imperial elite, the opulent shopping arcade now serves as a rough, improvised marketplace for those who can seldom aspire beyond a half-full stomach. Local traders barter household essentials and basic foodstuffs. A shaving mirror gets you 5 onions. A sack of potatoes could command as much as a blanket or warm coat.
Bad times. So Goran seems to be down here. Just quickly see whether there's anything interesting on this roof. Oh, we can go inside. Now see? I used to look for alternative ways.
The soot-caked print shop window obscures the press rhythmically at work inside, where the patron secures a jeweler's loop over his left eye.
That will not turn out good if he sees the little girl. But he doesn't. Alright.
We must not quit.
Welcome to the Bildenstraße Press. What a lovely couple you two make. Experience meets youth. How charming. I bet you're here for wedding invitations.
Not quite, my friend.
No time to waste, Gorenz. Drop the act. You know why we're here. 2 sets of ID papers within an hour.
Oh, my friend Wild. I didn't recognize you for a moment. I'd love to help. I won't even take a single shilling from you.
Well, that is odd and suspicious, to say the least. You're in a generous mood today. Hurry up, Gorenz. I don't need the full story. Tell me what you want in return, and let's get this done. Yeah, he's obviously not giving up his papers without anything in return, so option number 2.
Hurry up, Gorenz. I don't need the full story. Tell me what you want in return, and let's get this done.
As well as running the art academy across the square, my neighbor, Herr Grunwald, makes a tidy sum by managing the art collections of Vienna's rich and powerful. These people spend a fortune trading unique treasures and rely on Grunwald's expertise for guidance.
It's not yet clear to me where you or I fit into this.
Well, the problem for Grunwald's clients is that he is not as trustworthy as he seems. He's fond of passing on forgeries as high-value pieces to his clients, supported by fake authenticity documents.
Which you produced for him.
Correct. And then guess what happened?
The cheating fraudster Grunwald decided not to pay the poor forger Gerentz, and now I need to settle this liar's dispute.
You guessed it. I want you to retrieve my forged certificates. I'll then tell Grunwald the price has now doubled.
You're not slow to exploit an opportunity to make money, are you, Gerentz?
A man is a reflection of his times. Is it not so, Wild? Anyway, bring me these items and you will have your IDs.
Siska, Ignaz, stay here with Eva. I'll go and collect the certificates. If I'm not back in an hour, then you're on your own.
But I will be back. So, let's go retrieve the certificates. By the way, let's just explore a bit here. See whether we've missed anything. And indeed, there are money here. How about downstairs? There's also a door here. There's actually lots of doors here. But nothing of interest, so let's get a move on. Well, the flashlight made him suspicious, but we'll use that to our advantage. That is, by the way, a good tactic to employ. Maybe we can use this later on once more. Use the flashlight, attract attention, kill the guard. Alright, so now let's see how we can get over there. Let's observe his schedule as well. Does he stop? Yes, he does stop for quite a while. Well, so I'm guessing this guard we have to take down. Let's see what he does after he exits. Oh, he goes immediately up. Interesting. So I guess we'll wait for him. Although I could go inside here and just wait for him and hide on the other side of this door, like here. Alright, so he doesn't seem willing to hide.
Wilt rifles through the mess of letters and papers. In the lower drawer of the desk, he uncovers a bundle of thick cards adorned with wax seals and gold leaf bound in a silk ribbon. Wilt quickly scans one of the certificates before stuffing the sheaf into his pocket.
Alright, so now we attracted his attention. Alright, let's see what he does about it though. Alright, so by attracting his attention we actually made our job a bit easier. Alright, so we did our part. Let's see if Gorent meets us halfway.
Here's your payment, Gorentz.
Wilt hands over the certificates. Gorentz tucks them into his pocket in exchange for the forged identity cards, each decorated with a flawless replica of the official Imperial seal required for border crossings.
How do you know Grunwald won't simply go to another forger?
There is nobody else within 200 kilometers of Vienna who can do what I do. Grunwald is a greedy man. He'll never hold a grudge if it costs him money.
You're gambling on his greed outweighing his pride.
Greed outweighs everything, Wills.
Troubled times.
Thanks for the psychology lesson. We need to get going. Ignace and Eva will need 2 tickets for their journey. Siska, can I leave this to you and your nimble fingers?
No problem. I'll go ahead and find some tickets. There must be some unguarded pockets in the train station. Meet me on the departure platform afterwards.
Do you mind?
Alright, so we
They'll
only
never
get
win.
to control Siska now. Alright, we have to go to the train station, I suppose. Well, you know what? Let's try and get to the train station maybe this way. We now have to find 2 persons who have the correct tickets. No, actually we had to go to this door. Wait a sec. Alright, so we found 1 correct ticket. But now we have to be careful because the guard is coming up to check. Let's see if we can hide in this door here, just in case. Oh no. Not a good idea. Let's go back. Although we could go this way. See, that guard just leaves. Interesting. Let's see the movement pattern of the guards here. So what does he do and he? Do they cover all the stairs? Yeah, he goes down. I'm afraid that's not gonna work then. Alright, so how do we tackle this? This guy seems harmless. Oh, as luck would have had it, we just got the second ticket coming to us instead of us going out looking for it. So let's see. Now we have to just go past this guy. But wait a sec, let's wait for him to make his rounds. Where does this guy stop? Can I hide behind this door? Or does he go too far? Yeah, he goes too far. So let's wait for him. Can we hide here? Oh, this door is closed? Can close it. So the guard won't see us once he enters. We have to move as soon as he starts going down. Oh, wait a sec. Is this the guard? Yeah, then I missed my chance. Well, okay, we'll wait once more. Alright, patience is the key here. Let's just be wary of the other guard returning here. Yeah, and he does, so let's get down once more. Oh, we could do this though. We could do this. Should I risk it? No, I'm not gonna risk it. Let's wait for him to pass. Unfortunately, those two guards aren't very well synchronized. Let's see, do I have time once he leaves? Maybe. Maybe if I run. Alright, let's see if we can do it now. Oh, that is not fair. I didn't realize I could use wilt. Damn it.
Eva deserves a future.
Alright, so we can use everybody here. Alright, let's go with... let's hide Siska actually first. And then, let's bring in Wilt. Oh, let's wait. Where does this go? No, there's a shortcut. Okay. It's good to know that not everybody does have to go through what Siska just went. Alright, that's cool. Let's see a very nice shortcut here. Alright, so let's bring in the last of the crew then. Although the girl doesn't seem to be able to run much. So let's wait for her sometimes. I wonder if we get too far ahead of the girl. Does she lose us or does she follow us? No, she's coming. We're good. Let's just wait for the little girl as well.
Farewell, Ignace. Good luck in Trieste.
Thank you.
You weren't the worst human being I've ever come across. You probably don't deserve what Randain did to you, or have planned.
I promised that if you helped me, I'd tell you what I knew. If you want to learn more, go and visit the old Zeppelin factories south of the river. They were recently sold for a pittance to an investor representing Randain in a deal I was forced to approve. You can get there easily. Most of the underground trains stop in that area.
Thanks, Ignaz. Maybe steer clear of politics in the future? Doesn't seem to have done much for your soul here in Vienna.
I just want to forget it all. 3 years of misery, always afraid. At least I still have Eva. In Trieste we can start again. That's all I want.
You and every other bag of bones on this planet wants another go-around. And even if you had it, even if you had another 50 rolls of the dice, you'd still end up the shivering shell of a man that stands before us now.
Well, that's a bit harsh after all we went through.
You are not exactly sentimental, are you?
I don't expect much from people, and they still find ways to disappoint.
I pity you, Wilt.
Ignaz and Eva are already seated as the carriage slips out of the terminal. Siska's voice is buried by the noise of the locomotive.
Alright then, with Ignaz gone, we just have to escape the underground train station. Or escape through the underground station. Now that's gonna be more challenging. Alright, so I guess Wilt should take point. Or at least for some time, let's keep them together. Wait a sec though, where does this lead? Interesting. Let's see if we can use this. That doesn't look very easy now. Let's back a bit.
They'll never win.
Alright, let's see if Eva can hide someplace. Well, she better stay here. And I'll have Wilt do the dirty job. Let's try and take him out first. Well, smooth is not the word that could characterize how this went. Alright, let's try this once more. Let's wait for him to pass. That takes care of two of them. Should make things go a bit smoother. Let's see now whether the coast is clear after that. That doesn't look very promising. Let's see. Go downstairs, maybe. Now there's a guard coming though. Let's back up a bit. See what he does. Oh, he doesn't go very far though. Let's see if I can get him. Alright, so that's what we have to do. Cool. I think we can bring Siska now.
We can take the underground train to the industrial zone near the Zeppelin factories. We'll be there in an hour.
Sounds like you'll have a lot of fun.
You're not coming?
This isn't a hobby for me, Siska. If you want to hire me, then pay me. Or else, good luck to you. Try Arno if you want to volunteer. He's always desperate for a chance to clear his conscience. Problem is, whatever he does, it's never enough. I didn't much enjoy the last war I fought in, and I'm not eager to sign up for another.
Siska watches intently as Wilt maneuvers through the crowd. She fidgets with the button of her worn jacket, waiting for him to change his mind, to turn around and re-emerge from the anonymous masses. Siska learned a long time ago that waiting for heroes would never change anything, and she was cross with herself for having once more entertained such folly. Heroes were for children's stories. In life, she'd met only those who cared more and those who cared less. The locomotive's steam whistle is deafening. Siska buttons her coat and slips off towards the freight terminal.
Is he coming?
Arno's question fades unanswered in the darkness. Siska meets his gaze with a solemn shake of her head.
So, we have to do this without him. Maybe if we wait a little longer.
It wouldn't make a difference. He's not coming. A simple question of money. He wants more. I have nothing left to give to him. He figures he's in the clear with Rondane now that Ignatz won't link him to the town hall documents.
Sadly, I cannot say that I'm surprised. It's just that I hoped for more this time. After everything that happened during those first few days of peace, I think he just wanted to protect himself. Not caring was a sensible choice. Now, the habit has become the man.
Have you known him for a long time? Or, I'm not here to analyze that mercenary. We'll have to do this without him. Let's go. Well, why not learn a bit more about our hero here?
Have you known him for a long time?
Since the last days of a war which destroyed more than we can ever rebuild. Wilt was on the run from his regiment after killing a senior officer. A spat over a woman, a girl. One morning my unit swept through a small town near Passau, foolishly hoping to find supplies amongst the ruins. Instead, I found Wilt, starving and alone, hiding from the world and delirious from exhaustion.
You didn't kill him?
I knew he was not one of ours, but something about his pathetic and weary eyes. I hesitated, only for a second. It was enough. I too deserted, and we survived together somehow in the rubble for a few months. Not long after that, peace came.
He didn't go home afterward?
Wilt cannot go home. The hangman's noose awaits him back in London, and he knows it. He lives like the lost exile he is, forever temporary in a place that he doesn't understand and which doesn't want him. He tried swapping Vienna for Turin once. It made little difference. He was back here after only a few months.
I was tough on him earlier.
If you're worried you upset him, I wouldn't waste your time. He doesn't let much get to him anymore. Now, we should move.
Alright then, after this little bit of backstory on Wilds, we're ready to move. Is this a door? No. Just have to go through the elevator, I guess.
Do you mind? They'll never win.
Interestingly enough, we cannot switch between characters. We can only control them both, it seems. Lots of electronics in here. Looks important.
Smoke bellows from the colossal lip of the cooling tower. The stirrings of some steel titan echo from the cavernous chamber below.
Keep going. We need to find access to the lower levels.
Alright, let's keep going.
Arno spits roughly, his throat coated with soot like bitter black chalk. Cold chimney silhouettes lurk in the smog, a thin forest of burned and barren tree trunks.
Whatever is inside, it's not a small-scale operation. The factory appears to have its own source of power.
Alright, good to know we stumbled upon something big then.
Now and then, human voices echo throughout the metal shafts connecting the lower levels.
We should be careful. It'll be harder to deal with any guards now that Wilt isn't around.
Alright, so we'll have to do this extra stealthily, I guess.
Cacophony of whirring, hammering, and drilling reverberates down the factory's corridors and air shafts.
Some of this reminds me of an automobile plant. But the dimensions of the components suggest something much bigger and heavier.
Guns, maybe?
The squeal from nearby loudspeakers pierces the din. Moments later, the factory noise has receded. The tannoy transmits a sharp intake of breath. After a half-second pause, the speaker begins, his voice fervent and tinny.
Day 264 of Project Night Shift announcement will be followed by a special message from Mr. Baynor. Announcement. Sweater service disruption has been resolved. Maintain second-order targets of 6 completed units per week. Announcement. Quality must be assured. A cartridge failure rate of 2% is unacceptable. Announcement. Testing safety is paramount. Report cartridge leaks immediately. Assembly line fatalities must be reduced. Announcement. All workers to down tools for a special message from Mr. Baynor.
I would like to reassure our workforce that despite recent reports of abuse of our technologies, Rendane products are only distributed to trustworthy clients.
Yeah, sure.
Your work is essential for the continued safety of resident populations. Our products are bringing about a world in which war will be impossible, a forgotten legacy of another time. Only Rendane technologies can offer the required deterrent to would-be attackers and saboteurs. Consequently, I am delighted to announce that we will soon be upgrading production lines to deliver the next generation Mark II Peace Enforcer unit.
In other words, a device against free will.
Unscheduled announcement. announcement. Intruders detected. All security personnel to the Northern Assembly Halls.
Now that doesn't sound good for us.
The tannoy clicks off, and the approach of hurried and tense voices follows immediately. Siska looks to Arno to quell her panic, but finds only her own dread reflected in his frantic breathing. Arno stirs to the rasp of a dead bolt against a corroded steel door and opens his eyes to a cramped, unlit room. Siska lies inert on a bench in the corner. Even for a street kid, a blow like that will take a few hours to recover from. The heavy door swings open, and the room floods with light. Squinting, Arno can make out the figure of a tall man approaching through the glare.
Welcome to our facility. Though uninvited, we are not at all displeased to host you. As for your friend, the third one, is he also creeping about upstairs?
Siska has come to her senses, and with effort, sits up as she listens to Torvik's confident voice command the small space of the holding chamber.
Not very talkative, I see. I guess we have here the young firebrand, Siska, and the wily old engineer Arno. Ignaz had described you as an older man.
So Ignaz did give us up after all. Interesting plot twist. Ignaz? I thought he had left Vienna. Or what purpose does this secret facility serve? Well, he's not probably going to tell us about it, is it? Although it's worth a chance. I mean, we know that Ignaz didn't leave Vienna and he betrayed us, so let's go for the new information that just might be useful to us.
What purpose does this secret facility serve?
We make no secret of it, old man. We are proud to be one of the world's leading producers of peace enforcement technologies. The war left some terrible scars. I think we would all agree. Many unfairly blamed the conflict on the technologies used. They wanted to destroy an essential and honest industry. Luckily, one way or another, these idealists were defeated. Now, we understand that the only way to safeguard peace is to always be ready for war.
So peace is a constant war. Interesting theory.
You build weapons?
We don't build, Arno. Our work operates on a higher level. We create fear. Only fear is powerful enough to deliver us along the route to peace. It is our most prized ally. I gather that you yourself have extensive experience in this field, Arno. We are all aware of the wonderful work you did as part of the Battlefield Technologies unit during the war.
I did not choose where my skills were put to work. Before the war, I was happy as a medical chemist.
We could use your expertise round here. Think about it. Anyway, I have some other duties to attend to now. We'll continue our talk later.
With those words, Torvik is swiftly out of the door, leaving Siska and Arno once more in darkness. With the sound of his footsteps receding, Siska becomes acutely aware of her throbbing head pain.
Alright, so I guess the first order of business is getting out of this hairy situation.
I've heard enough from Torvik Noir for today. Let's get out of here.
Siska slips a hairpin from the sole of her boot and sets to work on the rusty lock of the air shaft cover. Takes her less than 60 seconds.
My, impressive. We should leave via the roof. There are fewer guards up there.
Wait, if what Torvik said is true, we can leave this factory of death intact?
I don't see any other option.
I know better than most what these machines will be used for, Arno. The beginning of every battlefield horror has its roots in a place like this. When you look upon it, you see only steel levers, copper wires, and rubber handles, but I see something different. I see ripped and flayed flesh, scattered like meat in the streets. I see it all, Arno. The swollen eyeballs, the shattered fragments of bone, the rotten pulp of guts tangled in barbed wire. I cannot leave while this place continues to function. We must destroy this facility.
I spent all my life designing things to work well. I suppose it shouldn't be too hard to do the opposite for a few hours. Let's move before I change my mind.
Alright then. So on to sabotage this facility.
What is it?
Alright, let's leave Arno behind here. Try and find a way through. This looks like the safer route. Well, that was a close call, wasn't it? Go this way. Let's see if that works better. Nope, it's just a dead end. That means we'll have to go this way. Had to be quick there. Now, we've reached the place of sabotage, but I don't think we are the right person to do this. Oh, we should actually both be here. Alright, so it's time to bring Arno into the fold. See if we can use the same route. Now wait for him to do his rounds. He's also highly alerted, so we wouldn't want to mess with him right now. Alright, so we're both here safely. Time to destroy some machinery.
I believe they're manufacturing their own vehicles to transport and launch the sulfur trioxide cartridges we saw in the distillery. This upper deck houses a central assembly computer, the master control over the production line.
Arno surveys the large computer unit before scanning the room for other equipment. He observes a smelting furnace on the lower deck of the workshop.
It's big, but maybe we can load the mainframe computer into the crucible on the lower deck. If we can figure out how to ignite the furnace while the computer is inside, we could completely halt all production.
What about the workers? I want to destroy this place, Arno, but I'm not going to murder people in the process.
Interesting. It's a difficult decision. Maybe we could trigger an evacuation alarm first. Wilt came up with that trick a few days ago. Maybe that's a price worth paying? More lives will be saved in the long run. Well, no, we will not be cutting any corners. We will do this the right way. Let's trigger an alarm first.
It's a difficult decision. Maybe we could trigger an evacuation alarm first. Wilt came up with that trick a few days ago.
Alright, so we can still sabotage the machinery. But we could also look for an alarm. Interesting. Let's take Siska
Do you mind?
and try and find maybe that alarm. I don't see any way of continuing this way, so let's just go down. Oh, and there is the alarm. Cool. Let's head back up quickly though. Alright, so now how do we sabotage the machinery? We have to go down to the lower level factory first. He did mention it, but I do not see any objective marker. Oh well, let's move in unison here. Oh, actually...
We must not quit.
Alright, so let's try and load this machine then. Let's load this onto this moving platform. And then we can probably push it to that smelting area that we saw over to the right. Alright, cool, I guess that did it. So how do we move this now? Now we are supposed to move this somehow, I guess. Maybe only Arno can do it? Maybe we should just close this door, I don't know.
Arno scurries from the upper deck to the lower and flips open the safety cover housing the trolley controls. He works quickly, his fingers flying across the switches in a blur. And the last lever he toggles sends the heavy trolley careering toward the smelting furnace.
Almost done. Now we just need to ignite the furnace by adding the molten zinc from the crucible.
We must not quit.
Let's just use the alarm just in case. You never know. Alright, I consider this a successful sabotage. Now we probably have to leave the area, don't we? Or do we actually have to add something to this? It looks like we still have to...
Instinctively, Arno locates the clunky hinges of the upper crucible. With two deft movements, he removes the steerings which hold it steady. The crucible slowly tips under its own momentum. Its volcanic ooze begins slowly, striking the mainframe with glowing chunks. Until moments later, the molten metal is flowing into the furnace, enveloping the equipment underneath.
Excellent. Now, if we can disable the cooling system of the main tower, that should ensure the fire spreads through the entire facility. We could destroy each and every one of these murderous machines.
Alright. Arno, why did Torvik mention the Battlefield Technologies unit? What exactly were you doing in the war? We haven't much time. Let's get it done and get out. Now, I want to listen to what Arno was all about during the war here. Let's do that.
Arno, why did Torvik mention the Battlefield Technologies unit? What exactly were you doing in the war?
It is not something which I like to talk about. Because of my engineering background, I was conscripted into the Battlefield Technologies unit. I went from making compounds for medical treatments to developing biological weapons. Weapons designed to maim and destroy, to inflict suffering and pain. For the most part, I saw nothing of the consequences of my actions. But the generals were very happy. I was their favorite. So, I knew my designs must have been effective. It was only in the last months of the war, when defeat was imminent, that I was moved into a makeshift infantry unit. That was how I came across Wild.
You designed bombs?
Bombs, bullets, missiles, traps, and much more, my child. It was an awful time, and I've never forgiven myself for what I allowed myself to become. Looking back, maybe I had a choice. I justified my actions by convincing myself I had no alternative. Today I have a choice. Let's get to work.
I like a determined Arno. Let's watch the machinery getting destroyed. Alright, no animation, but okay. Are you coming, Siska? Good. Now let's go investigate.
They'll never win.
Oh, there's a guard behind that door. So let's not be all too hasty about it.
What is it?
Let's ungroup those two and let Arno hide a bit.
Mine?
I see lots of flashlights, but no guard.
The building's automated fire extinguishers have now been activated. Thick smoke plumes from the building's power transformers, and the air is fast becoming unbreathable.
Alright, then we saw the correct path. Let's bring Arno into the fold once more. Let's wait for him to go down.
Okay, I need to recalibrate the cooling system pressure. You will want to leave as soon as I finish releasing the valve covers. This place will be an inferno in very short order.
How will you get out?
Don't worry, I'll be right behind you after I finish removing the pressure stabilizer sockets.
Siska watches as Arno collects the 3 master valve keys from the control panel and then studies the valve blueprint.
Alright, so
They'll never win.
how do we proceed now?
Do you mind?
So probably you have to find an escape route. That's what Arno told us at least. I'm not sure how exactly this is going to go down. Probably we have to go through all the valves, I guess. Let's get down there and see if I'm correct about that. Alright, so this is valve number 2. Alright, so this is interesting. We have to go through all the valves. Oh, wait a second. It's a puzzle. Look at this thing over here. Alright, let's observe a bit. So, we have to sabotage the cooling system, right? So, air flows through here and goes to these 3 cooling fans. So we have to stop airflow to all of them. I think if we operated this fan, that would effectively do it, wouldn't it? Alright, let's see if we can get to this thing here. Yeah, that doesn't look very promising though. Let's see if we can find a way through here, climbing up again.
Siska scrambles up the steps. She glances behind her at Arno, who calmly tinkers with the control panel of a large smelting furnace, oblivious to the growing flames. The handrail is scalding. The steel cladding of the tower's wall warps and begins to buckle in the heat.
Arno! Arno!
The roar of the flames is deafening. He scurries between the cooling valves of the machinery, bolting each one shut. The heat stings Siska's eyes and they well with tears. She can barely distinguish his shape and she struggles against the suffocating fumes for 1 second more. Just a little bit longer. He won't make it. She knows he won't make it. Yet still she lingers. Finally, she turns away and stumbles from the burning chamber.
Alright, so I don't know what just happened, but we are tasked with escaping now. So let's see. Maybe we'll wait for this guard to leave and then work ourselves downstairs. Let's just hope nobody gets inside this room or we are toast.
Outside, the factory's fleeing workers gather in the lower courtyards downhill, marshaled by Torvik's confident, booming voice. Siska coughs and hacks as her lungs expel the noxious fumes. She staggers off, pausing for a final, desperate look at the door of the burning building. But Arno is nowhere to be seen. She turns again, and soon her form is swallowed in the encroaching darkness.
Alright, so it seems that we lost Arno for good. Or there might be a plot twist down the road, but for now, that's none of our concern.
Siska fidgets with the phone's receiver, waiting impatiently for her call to be answered. Finally, the ringing stops. Someone picks up, but Siska hears only breathing. Whoever's on the other end of the line says nothing.
Wilt,
I thought it'd be you.
Wilt, I'm sorry. I waited and waited.
Arno was a grown man. He made his choices. It has nothing to do with you or me.
I thought you'd be angry, or at least upset.
Once again, you've made the mistake of assuming I cared.
Wow, our protagonist is sort of an anti-protagonist.
Arno told me about Passau, about what happened to you in the war. I know that you haven't always been cold, like now.
A lot can happen in a few years, kid. I bet you think you'll never end up like me.
At first, I thought you seemed like a selfish man, but now I know that's not true. Selfish people at least care about themselves. Even that is more than you're capable of. Arno was different. Despite everything, I think he still needed to care about something.
That a fact? How'd that work out for him? Was it worth it? Did it achieve anything? Randane are stronger than ever. Even without Ignace, they've got complete control of the city. Now they've secured an exclusive contract to manage the city's security. The municipal police have been disbanded. There are Randane guards on every corner.
That's why we need your help. Moritz has agreed to join us too. Destroying machines is not enough. Help us to strike at those that control them.
But the connection goes dead before Siska can finish.
Alright then, I guess Wilt is out of the picture. Alright then, I guess we'll have to do with Moritz then. So let's see. We have two paths here. We can go down or up.
The streets are deserted but for the prowl of slick-heeled soldiers. Their uniforms are without official insignias. Siska knows they're agents of Randane's quest power.
Let's wait for him to move away. Now, could we hide someplace? Alright, he doesn't move any further, that's good. I wonder what's downstairs though, let's see. Maybe this is an easier path. Alright, let's wait for him to move past us. Oh wait, no, there's another guy coming. Alright, we've reached Maurice then. Let's see if he can help us any further.
Thank you for agreeing to come. Are you sure you want to be here?
There's nowhere else for me to be.
We're going to Randane's propaganda office. It's heavily guarded, but I think it's our best chance of finding Dorvik. I need to know you're committed to this.
Siska, I spent years hating Ignace for what he did to my father, for what he did to my family. I thought that if I could somehow ruin him, then things would be different. Now he's gone and things are even worse. I hate them all. Those that sweep us aside like ants. Let me help you get rid of them.
What did Ignace do to your father? I'd be much interested to hear this. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's get moving. It seems there is always a story choice and a let's get moving choice. And I'm always gonna go with the story choice. I wanna hear more about the game's world.
What did Ignace do to your father?
Nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose. He just did his job. My father served him as a clerk in the town hall for 24 years. But when he became sick and couldn't serve any longer, Minister Real had very little sympathy. My father couldn't work, so we couldn't afford his medicines. We asked Ignace for help many times, but received nothing. My father was buried that autumn. Afterwards, we got a letter of condolence from Ignace's office, full of false sympathy and understanding, offering me the same post which my father had vacated. Now Ignace is gone, but they still treat people like dirt. Last week, they removed all the former clerks and replaced them with Randane's associates.
I'm sorry to hear that. Let's get moving. The main entrance of the propaganda offices is heavily guarded. It will be safer to get in via the roof. We can reach it through the old opera house next to the offices.
Okay, I'll scout ahead. The guards don't know my face, so I'll be able to move freely until we reach the offices.
Alright, so now we get somebody who can move undetected. So let's see how that goes. Alright, so let's scout ahead. Accessing the opera house can be done from here or up here, so let's try the more unconventional route. Let's go upstairs here and see what Siska will have to face when she tackles this, because this guy is only scouting ahead. He will be definitely very easy to reach the objective. Siska not so much though, so let's clear a path, or actually scan a path for her. Oh, so where does he go? Goes upstairs and then leaves towards the left. That's perfect. Let's just run past him.
I'm not your servant.
A canvas banner hangs above the opera house doors, bearing a large capital R and a flowering black rose whose roots twist around a bloody red heart.
Be careful, there may be guards in here. When they use this building to rehearse their rallies and speeches. Let's find a way onto the roof.
We must not quit.
We don't have much time.
Alright, so let's see what he does. He stands there for a second, gives enough time for Siska to move past him. So what about this route then? She could go here. Oh, but there are lots of guards. Oh, there's so many guards. No, that's not very viable. Two of them we cannot control easily. Let's see what the other guard does. So he gets into this room even for a while. Could be enough. Let's see what he does on the other end of his route. He stands there. So we cannot move past him once he's there. Hopefully he enters the room and stays for a while. Otherwise, Siska will not have a chance to move away. Let's see. Alright. He does stand for a while. But only for a very brief moment. We'll have to be very quick with Siska. Alright, let's see. Now she has to unlock this door. We'll go through here. She actually only can hide here for a while. Has to go downstairs here. When that guard moves away, let's just watch his route once more. Does he stay here for a while? Yes, enough time for Siska to escape, I guess. Good to know. Alright, and that's where we actually need Siska, so let's get back to her. Alright, we did. Nice. And by the way, is that a portrait of Batman here? No, that's fun. Alright. A little bit of an Easter egg by the developers, I guess.
There is no way to access the roof. No ladders, no stairs, nothing.
Siska doesn't appear to be listening. She cranes her neck towards the ceiling, tracing the line of rope hanging from the roof of the backstage service area.
Maybe we can use the stage pulley system. The motor doesn't look powerful enough to lift a person on its own, but if we counterbalance it by using our body weight, we could use it like a lift to get onto the roof.
In other words, Moritz will lift Siska up on the roof.
Moritz studies the ropes and pulleys, squinting with the effort of deciphering the system's workings, and spots a bank of controls to one side of the stage. Moritz tests a lever to no effect. He opens the power cabinet underneath for a look at the wires.
The mains power is disconnected. We'll need to find the main fuse switchboard for the building to turn the lift power on first.
Okay, let's do it.
Alright, so first order of business is to activate the power. So let's see what that is. I'm guessing we'll have to go downstairs. Let's check all the routes here. and see what Siska can do about it. Interesting. There are rooms here. Let me explore them a bit. Maybe we'll find something interesting. So here's the power. Oh, and we could activate it on our own. Well, that was easy. I thought we would have to be together to do it, but yeah, that doesn't make sense now, does it? Alright, let's get back to Siska then. That didn't make much sense, so... Alright, so let's place the weight here, I guess.
We must not quit!
Yes, yes.
Oh, so we have to be both at the same time there? Or not? Let's try this once more. Let's have Siska go on the other cage. Yeah, the controls are a bit clunky here, so I'm sorry I cannot quite get in here. Alright, cool.
Yes, yes.
We must not quit!
Yes, yes.
Alright, so... how about now? Should we put a weight in here?
I'm not your servant.
What is it?
Seems to be working, albeit slowly.
Yes, yes.
Alright. I guess we're safely on the other side then.
Let's search the building. When we find Torvik, we must choose our moment to strike. He will be heavily guarded.
Siska, be careful. I cannot scout ahead anymore. The guards will shoot on sight if they find either of us in the offices.
Interesting. So now Moritz is practically useless to us.
We must not quit!
In that case, we might as well just go with Siska solo here. that was more than we bargained for. Hopefully he calms down.
Yes, yes.
What is it?
I guess we'll just get down here. These roofs will not lead nowhere.
Large, unlabeled images adorn the office walls. One shows the apparent damage from a natural disaster, the collapsed chaos of shattered brick and twisted metal. Another displays the components of a dismantled rifle. On the opposite wall, a third image portrays a pack of alpine wolves tearing a young stag to pieces, its bloodstains frozen in the snow.
So we have to go inside this room though. Interesting. Let's see what the movement is like. Does anybody get in this room, for example? Well, this guy certainly moves jerkily. We do have an opening and this guy does not advance. Let's see what he does for a while. He stands up there for a while, so we'll have an opening. Does he go up to here? No, he gives us an opening there. Interesting. So we have ample time while he stands there to enter the room and confront Torvik. Not yet. Now though.
The clatter of a typewriter can be heard coming from one of the small, poorly lit offices. Through the half-open door, Siska and Moritz can discern the haggard but familiar face.
Ignaz, what the hell are...
Siska, welcome. I wondered if we'd ever meet again.
Torvik told us they'd apprehended you in Grizia. I assumed you'd be...
Dead. Believe me, when they found me, I would have gladly chosen death.
Alright, so we get 3 choices now. You work for Unday now, after everything they did? Moritz told me what you did to his father. We must hurry, Ignace. Where is Torvik? Alright, now let's get some backstory here.
You work for Rendane now? After everything they did?
What is difficult becomes easy when there is no choice, my child. Anyway, it's not so different from the work I did before. I resisted them for so long, like a fish tiring itself, thrashing against the rock, lodged into its throat. I grew weary. It's easier like this.
Yeah, right. Alright, let's learn about Maurice's father.
Moritz told me what you did to his father.
Ah, yes, that's it. I thought I recognized the young man. I guess you're the one who was trying to sell those stolen plans to the newspapers. How naively you overvalued my reputation. It was nothing personal to you or your family. I made logical decisions. It was not for me to arrest the suffering of the world.
You were one of the few who could have helped. You chose not to.
A dangerous precedent would have been set. What happens next time a clerk gets sick? I must take responsibility for everybody?
No one asked you to do more than you could, Ignace. You didn't seem so detached when it was you who needed help from Siska and Wild.
We don't have time to debate old grudges. Doesn't even matter now. Nobody lives without being broken a little bit. We must hurry. Ignace, where is Torvik?
He is normally here. A very clever man, good with ideas. But you won't find him today. They are all in Bet Arkady, preparing for the coronation. 3 new members will be raised.
Bet Arkady?
Bet Arkady is in the Tyrols. It sits off the northern end of the Bargantian Pass. I've heard it's truly awe-inspiring. Authority cut directly into stone and rock. I suspect your intentions are not pure when it comes to Torvik. That's okay, many start like that. You will come around eventually.
Ignace becomes distracted by his papers mid-sentence. He looks to be at work on a poster that reads, "Only alone. Alive." Within seconds, he is once again immersed, poring obsessively over his designs.
Alright, so now we should escape. Let's see how we can do that. We'll wait for him to leave. But we have to observe his movement. I guess we'd better get down to the basement.
We must not quit.
Alright, let's bring in Maurice to the fold. I'll wait for this guy to make his pass first. Go upstairs and then we'll be on our way.
A merciless wind batters the streets. There is no kindness in these elements. Siska gauges Moritz's expression for a hint of his inner deliberations. What motivated him to take these risks with his life? If he had anything to lose, would he still be so committed to such a cause? Wordlessly, she turns into the gale. She would go to Bet Arkady. The wind momentarily subsides. In the transient silence, she hears her footsteps kissing the pavement, determined and sure. betraying none of the fear which has become normal for her.
Alright, so we enter the final chapter of the game, I guess.
The rain lashes at the granite ridge, wearing down the old rock. Its form reshaped decade after decade. It has never stopped, and it will never stop. A chaos indifferent to beauty or sentiment, giving no quarter to our petty concerns. Amidst this endless, ruthless drama, a smaller scene unfolds. Whether it is of consequence depends purely on the scale of one's perspective. Two individuals scale the scree for the exposed plateau above.
I still don't understand why you are here. Yesterday you said no, but today you are here. The world has not changed in the meantime. Is it possible that this short ration of time has been enough to change you? To transform something inside?
Does the reason really matter?
People change, Wilt. All the time they change. Maybe not a lot, maybe not enough, but slowly. Like these rocks and cliffs, they change. They themselves don't always notice it, but it's happening all the time.
The wind redoubles its efforts to erase them from the blackened rocks, and still they clamber upward, slowly.
They'll never win.
The curtains of swirling fog part to reveal the daunting outline of a man-made structure. The walls have been chiseled from the jagged ridges of rock. The glimmer of a candlelit monastery is dwarfed by an extension behind it.
I guess that's it. Bet Arcady.
The smaller monastery is hundreds of years old. Ignat said that Rendain acquired it a few years back and then added the rampart extension shortly after.
Looks like it's under heavy guard. They aren't taking chances with all of their senior people in one place.
Ignat said they were here for some sort of leadership ritual. This may be our chance to strike at those who really hold the power in Rendain.
Wilt and Siska continue their approach towards the somber stone walls of the monastery.
This looks nice though, graphically. Alright, let's see. I guess we'll use Wilt here. The guard stops a bit up here, so this will give us ample chance to take him out. Good. Now let's move.
The sheer stone surface rises seamlessly from the rock beneath. It is not easy to identify at which point the work of nature ends and the work of man begins.
Alright, let's move on now. Locked. And locked with a key, so maybe not even Siska can open this. Let's hide for a bit. Pass. Well, we'll have to take him out, I guess. Alright, so let's see what's behind these doors then. He stands there for a while. Oh, and he comes to investigate? Okay, let's hide then. Alright, let's observe now what he does. I think he stops there for a while as well. If that's the case, we can get him. Oh, and it's for a good while also, so okay. Oh, but this is locked. We cannot do this. Well, that actually worked out fantastically, didn't it? I did not get though how this can still be locked after these guys unlocked it for us, but okay. Minor inconvenience, I guess. So can we call the elevator here? Alright, so where do we need to go? I'm guessing this is 0, 1, 2 and 3, so let's go to 4 straight ahead. Interesting. This is 4. What about the upper floors here? So let's observe. He stands there for a while, but not for long. Doesn't go down. For how long does he stand there? Not much either. We will have to take him out. How about him? He makes a pass through here, stands there for not much. Still, we have to get this guy. Let's wait for him to move away a bit. It's not working because he's coming back. It's gonna be difficult. We'll have to take him out as well, I think. You know what? Let's wait for him to come, and we'll take him out. Yeah, that's how we'll do that. Quickly hide. Maybe then we can take out his body. Alright, so that wasn't the most peaceful way of doing it, but certainly was effective. So I'm guessing now we will have to bring Siska along. Let's see. Alright. So now we are both here. Let's investigate.
The cavernous room is eerily quiet. Wilt and Siska furtively explore its corridors to check for any guards. This room, at least, provides some sanctuary.
There are too many of them on the lower levels. The barracks up ahead seem to be even more heavily guarded.
It's too difficult to get through together. I'll go ahead alone. Let me clear the way. I'll come back for you once it's done.
Siska glances round the room for a moment before turning back to Wilt. She nods.
Okay, I'll wait here. I trust you.
Cool, so now we'll have to take down the guards with Wilt. Seems we alerted somebody, but maybe we can use that to our advantage here. And indeed, we can.
The flat roof of the barracks has been adapted to accommodate vehicles from the Zeppelin factory. Their launcher barrels pointed menacingly into the darkness.
Well, that's a neat little trick we learned here. Let's see what the other guard does though. Does he open the door? Doesn't look like it. Alright, that was unnecessary. He's not coming here. There's a guard in here right now, so I'm not willing to chance it. Let's wait for him to move out. Wow, we are clearing out everybody, aren't we? Let's see if we can do this one more time with this guard. So, lots of guards cleared now. This should be a bit easier. Let's move on. We have to get downstairs though, so... Alright. Guessing this way is good as any. Oh, wait there. Not that fast, my friend. Let's see what he does. He stands there and moves back. How much time does he give us? Let's just see here once he enters the door. Because I cannot chase him down. Oh, he doesn't give us that much time at all. Unless there's a hiding spot here, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Hopefully I can hide here or here, let's see.
The exposed platform faces the precipitous breach. Beyond it, a ravine plummets into nothingness. Further still, another column of jagged basalt rises from the deep with a structure carved atop it.
Let's see if we can hide on the edge of the platform for a while and then chase this guy down. Alright, that worked out nicely. Let's just see what's behind the door. Alright, so let's see. Hopefully there is no guards left between us and the objective. Oh, okay.
Wilt, I presume?
Excuse me?
We've not yet met. I am Torvik Boehner. Perhaps your friends Siska and Arno told you about me. Oh, do forgive me. I had forgotten about poor Arno. We found his charred remains amidst the debris of our plant. Of course, it was his own vandalism which caused such chaos, so perhaps we should not be too sorry.
He made his choices.
As will you, Wilt, as will you. But all in due course. For now, I must admit that I am impressed with how you've navigated our facility thus far. Nonetheless, I have ceased to consider your sport worth the effort. It would be logical for you to be eliminated at this point. And yet, there are others who disagree. They still regard you as an exploitable resource. Your impressive ruthlessness is matched only by your complete lack of any conviction. You're a powerful weapon that can be turned any which way. Please, accompany me.
Wilt is apprehensive. His curiosity tempers the urge to attack, which pulses through his tensed fingers. Torvik turns and strides towards the cable car sitting upon the boarding platform. Wilt hesitates before following him. They board the vehicle just as its motor splutters into gear.
Let's see where this leads us then.
The small cabin sways precariously in the wind. Its motor cogs crawl tentatively along the cable, guiding it through the night air. Wilt stares into the ravine below. Its empty space seems to possess endless mass. A nerve in his neck tingles.
Well, this is a long ride, though. I guess this is the preparation.
The cable car has been decorated with 4 small, disturbing sculptures carved from the basalt and granite abundant on the slopes outside. Each one depicts a strange, humanoid creature, half beast and half machine. The one nearest to Wilt is standing erect, with a metalloid structure embedded beneath the skin of its back. Wilt looks aghast at the prospect, examining the symbiotic depiction of steel and skin.
So, despite everything, you are here. Of all the places for your sickly little bag of flesh to end up, somehow things have led us to this place, this moment.
Torvik pauses, turning to one of the statues at his left.
Frightening, isn't it? The things which we can do. Such power emanates from our organs and limbs.
The car's gears continue to grind it along its threaded route through the abyss.
We are almost there.
Alright, so this is gonna be the final showdown, I guess. Let's see how that goes.
Huge portraits of austere faces hang along the staircase, each tinged by the cold sneer of high command which emanates from their pursed lips and stern frowns.
They were all powerful men. Please accompany me to the upper residence. I'd like to show you something.
Seem to be unable to run in this region, so I guess we'll have to take this slow.
Torvik strides into the vast stone-walled room and beckons Wilt. In the middle of the space is a large bronze cage crammed full of snow pigeons. Wilt wondered how he'd not noticed it when he first entered. The birds emit pained squawks as they peck and jostle at each other for space. Torvik watches the feral scene intently, captivated by the prospect of beak and claw-drawn blood.
Do you think you would behave differently were you inside that cage, Wilt? Or are you disgusted by what they are doing to each other?
They're animals. I expect little more from them.
And from people, Wilt? Are they not animals? You don't strike me as someone who expects much more of people than you do of these pigeons. Do you think the world is any different from this rusty cage?
Yes, it can be.
And do you care, Wilt? Do you care whether the world is a rusty cage or not?
You're enjoying their suffering, aren't you? You found a way to bring out the worst in them, to render them at their ugliest. And you're proud of it.
You read people well, Will. I am indeed proud of this and so much more that I have managed to achieve.
Torvik pauses to toss a few scraps of fruit into the cage. His face is tensed in grim fascination as the starved birds fight viciously to earn a bite of the rotting food.
I see in you a man who is lost, Will. Awake from this dreary existence you have drifted into. Swear your allegiance to us and rediscover what it means to believe in something again. We know you have strength and that you're not afraid to use it. Our clerks have researched your background thoroughly. Your former regiment has kept extensive records of its war deserters. Your murder of the officer, Corporal Harold Wickmans. There is something ruthless inside you, Wilt. Something which we don't often find.
That was different. We weren't just two caged pigeons fighting over breadcrumbs.
You were, and still are, exactly that, Wilt. When backed into a corner, you acted like any one of these dirty, grubby creatures would have done.
I had a reason. Not one I will ever feel the need to share with you, but I had a reason. He deserved what he got. It was different.
You can think whatever you need to think, Will. If you must distance yourself from these vermin, so be it. I myself prefer to compliment you on your similarity to them. So, what's it to be? Will you release yourself from your petty vanities and join us in our purpose? Or would you prefer some sort of futile dramatic gesture, like the mess your friends made at our facility? Perhaps attack me out of misguided allegiance to that girl. She seems to think I'm dangerous. If you think her right, perhaps you should do something about it.
Torvik steps to Wilt and offers his hand. Wilt pauses. The room is silent, but for the yelps of agony coming from the cage.
Oh, now this is interesting. Do we come to the ultimate choice of this game now? And we get 3 of them. The first is Wilt attacks Torvik. Second, Wilt turns and heads for the exit. And the third one, Wilt accepts Torvik's hand. So, there is the option of destroying what this machine has been about, this war machine. There's ignoring it and letting it control the world, but with other help. And there's actively helping this machine function. So, I'm guessing the obvious choice would be to attack Torvik and see what that gets us. More fitting for a noir film would be some of the other choices. I bet the middle one, the doing nothing about it, would be the most noir of them all. And we could also see how this ends very, very, in a very bad way if we accept Torvik's hand here. So I think I will just go for the good option here. And maybe if I get a chance, replay this part and see how the other choices, what the other choices result in.
Wilt attacks Torvik. The move catches Torvik by surprise and the men fall to the floor.
Guards! Guards!
Torvik shouts for the guards, but his cries will not carry over the ravine to the barracks. Wilt is the stronger man. He fumes with rage as his fists crash against Torvik's ribs. Torvik's resistance becomes ever weaker as he tries to scramble away for the cable car platform. Wilt stands over his bloodied and prone opponent. He contemplates the loose basalt by the altar supporting the cage.
Yet another choice for us. Wilt heaves a basalt slab above his head and brings it crashing onto Torvik's back. Or Will steps over the prostrate Torvik and heads for the cable car. So we can let Torvik live, or we can put an end to all of this. If we let him leave, this would be almost as bad as not making a decision in the previous choice. So if we want to follow through and bring down this machine, we should at least cut the head of the snake here. So let's go for the aggressive option.
Wilt heaves a basalt slab above his head and brings it crashing onto Torvik's back.
Oh.
The rain continues to hurtle from the heavens. Each drop slaps against the rock with the force and intensity of a cosmic explosion. To the naked eye, the rock is unmoved. It resists, unchanged and defiant as before, withstanding the endless elemental siege. But a change has nonetheless occurred. Each drop has taken its tiny toll. One day, only pebbles will remain of mountains and cliffs. Nothing stays the same. Not for a second.
Alright, so guess this is how the game ends in a dramatic fashion. A tale about how people can be one thing, change into another, and maybe change back to the original thing somewhat in the end. We took the option of aggressively tackling head-on our problems here. Maybe though, we could revisit the game and see how the other endings unfold. Alright, so now let me just show you what happens if you choose a different path than the good one. What if we chose to side with the bad guys here?
Torvik steps to Wilt pauses. The room is silent, but for the yelps of agony coming from the cage.
So instead of attacking him this time, let's accept Torvik's hand.
Wilt accepts Torvik's hand. Torvik's other hand is clenched. He raises it to Wilt's face and opens his fist. In his palm, he holds the lifeless, severed head of one of the snow pigeons.
You know now what you must do. That young girl will never acquiesce to reason like you have done. Go and see to it that she doesn't leave here alive. I'm tired of her meddling in our affairs.
Wilt knew that it would come to this. He nods and accepts a small pistol which Torvik offers, and then turns towards the barracks where Siska awaits. The rain continues to hurtle from the heavens. Each drop slaps against the rock with the force and intensity of a cosmic explosion. To the naked eye, the rock is unmoved. It resists, unchanged and defiant as before, withstanding the endless elemental siege. But a change has nonetheless occurred. Each drop has taken its tiny toll. One day, only pebbles will remain of mountains and cliffs. Nothing stays the same. Not for a second.
Alright, so there you have it. That was the alternate ending of Calvino Noir. Not much different from the first one. It just changes the second to last scene of the game, in which our hero accepts Torvix's hand. But anyway, this game was a nice distraction from the main games I play on my channel. And thank you guys for making this journey with me. And I hope if you're interested in this video, you might as well check some of the others I have on my YouTube channel. Until then, until the next video, take care.